Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another Will Cheese Fail sent in by you, the fans, to Lifesaglitchtv at gmail.com, Mr. Maximus Black.
Yep.
Hit me up with the sound of an orbital supply drop coming in, but it's not an actual supply drop. It's actually, wait, is that the LAGTV community wielding cell phones hitting the ground running? Match Masters, link in the description below. You thought
Already?
You thought you guys had time. You guys just took off your monocle and put it down. And my God, did you guys ever hit a fucking home run with Monopoly Go? Oh my sweet and sour, merciful passing Go Jesus.
I'm just gonna say it, guys. Y'all are absolute legends. All right, just straight up legends. Big thank you, massive thank you. We get to do it again.
Oh, and they're already We haven't even done a cast yet. The community Discord is so bumping, and by the way, the way in which the community, you really do need to get on this thing, even if you're just gonna watch it from a distance. This Discord is a hive mind like one I've never seen in my life. The ways in which they min-maxed for everyone trying to climb in Monopoly Go and like boosting everyone was fucking insane. Jeff just put in Match Masters, link in the description below, in the Discord, like before our podcast today.
Well, they can see it on the screen.
And people are,
they already see it.
They can see it.
They see the goals.
It's already happening,
yeah, bro.
And they already have like a system in play. They're already min-maxing this, and you know why? We're seeing the cheese precipitate right now. It's because this game, I know what you're thinking. I can't do Candy Crush again. It's not necessarily Candy Crush. This is a PvP type environment situation we're dealing with right now.
They already got a clan going.
The LAGTV community
they already got it.
Already has a clan. It's in. So if you guys want to get in, do something with the community, and trust me, the LAGTV community, when they get in on these fucking games,
Adam,
oh my God.
Adam, you don't even need to sell it, but sell it just a little bit. Let them know what they're getting for this one.
Ladies and gentlemen, a lot of you were requesting, thank God this cheese is slow, a lot of you were requesting that we did cold cast marathons before, and we were like, well, that's kind of what we're doing right now. But then we realized, Mr. Black told me before we started this day, he said, I got an idea. What if we did an honest to God cold cast marathon? Mr. Black, is that red block moving?
That's a red block.
Yes, it is. And he said, what if we do an actual one? Where we just pull out of the email and do it live for the folks at home. And then for those who can't show up for the live stream, you don't worry about it, because we're going to take all the best games. And on the 2 days a week, we aren't already pumping content in your live feeds or your feeds. We're going to give you those games. And so that's what you're working for. And that's why the community is already fucking burning this shit at both ends in the community Discord right now. You're going to get in there. Link in the description for the Discord and Match Masters.
We're selling out, bro.
In the description below. Oh my God.
We've sold out.
Get in and get her done. Hey, listen, I was on the front fucking lines on Monopoly Go.
You were.
My ass
Who's
got
leading
the
the
board
charge?
67. 67. I was in there.
Oh, you know what else is in there?
Trenches.
You know what else is in there?
This planetary Foratod.
Yes, it is.
And soon to be,
bro.
What is being a factory?
Dude,
oh, this
I
shit
love
is.
what he's doing. Oh, don't go over there, bro. Dude,
Whoa.
I love what he did here. He put in the planetary, and then he started making this. He started getting the factory going. So now, the factory build is being protected by the planetary. Ooh, nice play there though with the Cyclone's range. I didn't think about that, man. That's gonna outrange the planetary. Damn.
True, by a bit. Even what about high sec auto tracking, which is almost done upgrading? Does it match that range?
I don't think so, man. The Cyclone range is absolutely insane. The problem is he needs to attack the SCVs. He almost needs to get a second Cyclone on the low ground, right?
Yes.
Scan here.
Yes.
And then shoot the SCVs that are repairing the planetary. But now he's putting the SCVs in a vulnerable position. This cheese is actually starting to turn out to be pretty epic. Now the siege tank is out. Beautiful play. He needs to lock onto that siege, and he does. Look at this. He's holding like a god.
That is well played. And you know what? Orbital threw away a couple of SCVs there just out of nowhere. I think he was trying to bait them into the planetary. High Sec does have a lot of range, and they have to get in closer to get that lock on, and then they can back up, and that's what allowed them to do that there. But it is true, they have to get real spicy when they get their lock on, because 1 millisecond or 1 millimeter further than basically where they're sitting right now, and that planetary starts going to work. But man, that siege tank, another one in, and they've got to go back in again for round 2.
Oof.
Yeah, they lose one, but the other one's alive.
It is barely, and he needs to repair that. This is actually starting to work out here for Orbital Depot. Space, though, I'll give it to him. He's doing a fantastic job at holding this really aggressive cheese that we have not yet seen in LAGTV. Yes, we've seen proxied factories. Yes, we've seen planetary Fortods many times, but I've never seen a Fortod then protect the factory and then using the sieged units to then slowly work your way in, all while macroing in behind here. This guy is playing like a legend right now. He is on 2 base to 2 base. We do have a run by here, but another planetary down at the natural. This siege tank is now blowing up the mineral line here of space. He cannot get close. He's surrounded. He's surrounding his siege tank with the SCVs to repair. He manages to pick one off, but that siege tank goes. Still another one there, and now he's finally going to back off smartly. And wow, the damage is being dealt here for Orbital, and Space now in a really rough position.
Yeah, well, he's got that third now in production down below his natural, and that's where he's moving everything at this point. But man, I mean, this is I think the impressive part about all this, in all honesty, you pointed out here, is that Orbital is not just in so far. I mean, this is clearly this is sort of all-ish in. This is a lot to commit, but at the same time, he did not stop himself from expanding back home, so he's not really down a base. This is a rare thing for us to see here, at least in LAGTV land. Yep. So frequently when people do stuff like this, this is the show. This is all it. He's got 1 base at home, and then as soon as the other person gets out, it's all over but crying. But this Orbital right now doing very well to maintain parity with Space.
Yep.
And at the same time, you know what? How much do you think Space should be committing to this to try to get rid of this before it starts to just be too much? Should he even bother with much of this at this point? Like, does he just give the space up?
No, I don't think he can necessarily give it up, but he also can't put all of his effort into it either. I think he's doing the right thing. He's losing minimal amount of units. He still has 3 Cyclones in play. If it was just a planetary, I'd say, yeah, let it be. It's out of range. It can't do anything. But the problem is he continues to build siege tanks in his base. If he lets this go completely, then he's going to have the high ground to siege up top. He's going to then lose the natural. He has smartly gone down to a 3rd, where he is grabbing another orbital. He is flying this base over as well. I think he's using just enough energy to hold this off the best he can while still macroing in behind. Just leaving it there and allowing it to fester is not what he wants to do, but trying to kill all of this is also not what he wants to do. There's a fine line here. And now that this missile turret is out and in position, I'm not even sure he can do much of anything at this point. Because if he starts to get a bit closer, he's got a 2nd siege tank, really a 3rd still back there. He's not going to be able to get close enough. I think at this point, he kind of has to have a contingency plan and almost start to move things. Although that siege tank is out of position now. So that's a nice pickoff there. Didn't even lose a Cyclone. You know, as I'm sitting here yapping, saying he probably should back off, Orbital just made a mistake, and now it looks like he's going to start going from the low ground, like I said earlier. So very, very smart. I'm liking this. Good play here from both players.
Yeah, very much so. I mean, really, you cannot knock Space for his hold. You can't knock Orbital for his execution of this cheese either. Very well done on both sides. And nice in that normally by now we'd probably have a pretty good idea of who's winning, but honestly, both of these gentlemen are doing a damn good job of making a case for who is going to come out of this the victor. We're all the way down to, we got the barracks going in for vision. We've got everything, all hands on deck right now to try to deal with this this threat on the doorstep. But at the same time, what do we got? We got Liberator is coming out. We're still pumping out more mech units in general. But what is Orbital doing back home?
Here we go.
Nothing, because the Liberator is distributing freedom.
Oh yeah.
To the mineral line.
Oh yeah.
Of Orbital. He gets that cleaned up. But that probably, I didn't get a chance to see how many kills that Liberator got there, but
yeah, six.
Not bad. And that's the first damage really he's been able to do in the grand scheme of things to Orbital. And it will be fun to see how Orbital responds now that he's had any amount of pressure, because up to this point, he's experienced none.
Yeah, this is a very well played here from Space. That now this Liberator is starting to close out the gap here a little bit. He has a ton of Cyclones. Dude, this is an incredible hold. This is very impressive. I'm not even sure how I would handle this type of pressure. I can do a lot of theory crafting right now because it's easier said than done when I'm watching it. But actually in the middle of it, how he's holding, that was a big mistake there with getting in range of that missile turret. That missile turret is paying off huge. Not only just from getting rid of that Liberator, but the fact that he hasn't really been able to push into this as confidently as he would like to from these. And a second command center's here, and now he's starting to panic. He's going in. And that's not good. He's losing a lot of his army here. He's going to get rid of that one forward siege tank. I'm not sure that was worth it in the trade, but now he's going to be able to start to pick off these SCVs. He wants to kill those off because if he keeps them alive, they're just going to keep repairing the planetary. Orbital Depot should change his name to Planetary Depot.
Flawless. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
No notes.
No notes.
Perfect. This is just really, I mean, you know what's crazy about this match is that everything is happening here. This tiny little postage stamp in the top corner.
Yeah.
Like pretty much every ounce of production and fighting has happened here. That being said, I'm seeing some red ants marching across the map below right now. Those are a bunch of Marines and some SCVs as well.
Oh, he's bringing everything.
Being sent up. He's bringing everything.
Over.
And
I think it's over.
It looks like he might actually have hit the wall, Mr. Black.
Yeah, it was these extra siege tanks. What a play there from Orbital, getting out those Vikings as well and just slowly picking off. This was a game of chess, and it was a pretty high level one in terms of like this cheese. And the commitment to it, all while still macroing very well. Usually when you see something this technical from a cheese standpoint, trust me, I know, I'm one of the cheese gods out there. This is pretty much all I've done is all in cheeses. It's extremely hard to still macro well and have such precision on placements on where this was very methodical. I know I'm kind of sucking off this Orbital Depot guy, but he really did a great job here, and so did Space at holding it off as long as he did. Because this isn't a build that you just run into on the ladder. This never happens. And it's happening in real time, and it was honestly a pleasure to see. This is a good game.
Yeah, this is a really good game. Fun game to watch. Thankfully gave us and blessed them just enough time to sell out hard in the opening of this cheese. And developed into something a lot more, but yeah, well played by both gentlemen, just spectacular. SpaceDude on the GG, and Orbital Depot with a very, very well executed macroed behind planetary Fortod's push. Really, in the grand scheme of things, that was a very well done push. Now, here's my question, Mr. Black. This was in a TVT. Obviously, anything like this against a Zerg, very, very difficult, but for obvious reasons. If you face this as a Protoss, with him handling it the way that he did, with the macroing behind and whatnot, how difficult do you think this is to hold as a Protoss?
I think it's easier.
Or do you think this?
I think it's easier to hold.
And it's going to be, yeah, okay.
Yeah, because
so, for what reason?
Well, I think Immortals just do so much damage to siege tanks that if you're getting out the Immortals, like, you're going to be able, and remember, you're going to have shield batteries as well. So you're going to be able to put the shield batteries in behind and use your Immortals to push in. And unlike Cyclones that are extremely squishy, especially to things like siege tanks and planetaries, he can't stay in that line of fire. He cannot take more than 2 volleys of hits. But with an Immortal, you have the shields, you have the shield batteries. They do crazy damage. So just a few volleys from an Immortal is going to take out a Siege Tank, even if you have SCVs repairing it. And you're going to be able to kind of snowball. And even if you get 3 Immortals out with a couple of shield batteries in behind, even 3-4 shield batteries, you're going to be able to take out that planetary as well. So I think it's a much easier hold as Protoss. And we didn't even talk about Stargates and getting out Void Rays. But with the Void Rays, it's going to be a little bit of a problem. If he would need more missile turrets, because obviously Siege Tanks and Planetaries can't shoot air. So, like, in my mind, the first thing I would be going to is Robo, simply because the Immortals are going to do big damage. Now, you could go for the Stargate as well, but I think the Robo play is a little bit more versatile, because then you can get out a Warp Prism and start warping in down at his base as well while you're dealing with this, not allowing him to macro. But in a TVT, I mean, once he's got that planetary, you basically need ranged units out there, and he's already got that factory ready to go to pump out his range units before you got him, and it was just very well played. So yes, I think against Protoss, it's an easier hold for Protoss than it is Terran. But that, that's my theory crafting. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think I am. I just think Immortals are just going to do too much damage too quick, and the shield batteries are the big differentiator. It's almost like having bunkers for Terran, except that you don't need units in them, and you're gonna kind of go forward. Even if you had a bunch of stalkers, you could start taking the stalkers and just one volleying off the SCVs and just getting rid of that ability to repair or build those missile turrets, and then you can get your Stargate and get Void Rays. So, there's multiple ways that you could do it. But anyway, I digress. Match Masters, big thank you guys. Start it. It's a 30-day campaign. It's open for 30 days. Got lots of time. We're going to do a cold cast marathon. I know we plug it a little bit hard there on the first round, just so that you guys understand what's going on. But cold cast marathon, we're going to do a full live stream, a full day, like 20 casts back to back to back to back to back to back, live on stream with you guys. And then we will cut out the best games and put those out on the days that you normally don't get content for the ones that missed it or want to rewatch it as well. So that means at that point you'd be getting content every single day. We're still continuing with the co-op. Adam and I, we're recording LAGTV versus next week. Mario Kart, LAGTV versus. So you guys are going to start to see those games come out from the last campaign in the following week, because our editor Mark is going to edit them, because we want to do it like we do the co-op, where you're getting both points of view. So we're going all out because you guys have gone on all out for us, so we do appreciate it. And do you have anything else to say, Adam?
I already did my sell at the beginning. You guys have been crushing it, and you got more coming. It's gonna happen. Brace for impact.